Welcome everyone, join us today as we delve into the life and legacy of Wurzel, the powerhouse guitarist of Motorhead whose fiery riffs and stage presence helped shape the band's thunderous sound. So let's dive in. Michael Richard Burston, born the 23rd of October 1949, in Cheltenham, England. Michael, best known as Würzel, grew up in post-war Britain. His early years were fairly ordinary, but he showed an interest in music from a young age. Before pursuing it seriously though, his path took a very different turn. After finishing school, Michael joined the British Army, where he trained as a corporal. He served in Germany and Northern Ireland with the 1st Battalion of the Gloucestershire Regiment, and his years in uniform gave him the nickname that would stay with him for the rest of his life. While in the army he was dubbed Wurzel, after Wurzel Gummidge, a famous British scarecrow character from children's television, because of his shaggy hair and lanky frame. After leaving the army, he worked for a time as a builder before devoting himself fully to music. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Wurzel played guitar in several local groups, including bands called Made in England and The Meek. Though these projects didn't achieve much commercial success, they gave him valuable stage experience and sharpened his playing style. Before his big break, he even appeared on the album Metal Anarchy by the band Warfare, hinting at the heavy, aggressive sound that would later define his career. That big break came in 1984, when Wurzel answered an ad placed by Motorhead. Lemmy Kilmister was looking to rebuild the band after lineup changes and auditioned both Wurzel and Phil Campbell. Instead of choosing between them, Lemmy hired both, transforming Motorhead into a twin guitar powerhouse. For Wurzel, it was a life-changing moment. Suddenly, the former soldier from Cheltenham was standing on some of the biggest stages in rock, wielding his Les Paul and delivering the raw, thunderous sound that Motorhead fans came to love. His first album with the band was No Remorse, a compilation released in 1984 which introduced fans to the new lineup. Over the next decade, Wurzel played on 6 Motorhead studio albums, each of which has since become a fan favorite. These included Orgasmatron in 1986, Rock and Roll in 1987, 1916 in 1991, March or Die in 1992, Bastards in 1993, and Sacrifice in 1995. He also featured on live albums like No Sleep at All and The Birthday Party. During this time, the band toured relentlessly, earning a reputation as one of the loudest and hardest-hitting acts in rock. Wurzel's thick rhythm tone and searing leads added weight to Motorhead's sound, giving the band a new depth and dynamic. Alongside his work with Motorhead, Wurzel explored solo projects. In 1987, he released the Best EP, which was dedicated to one of his pet dogs. Unlike the straight-ahead metal of Motorhead, Best showed Wurzel's willingness to experiment, mixing rock with touches of jazz and even instrumental passages. Years later, in 1998, he surprised fans again with the album Chill Out or Die, an ambient, psychedelic-inspired release that was a complete departure from anything he had done before. It proved that Wurzel was not limited to one style and that he enjoyed exploring music for its own sake. Despite his success, life in Motorhead was never easy. The band endured endless touring, hard living, and constant pressure to deliver. After recording Sacrifice in 1995, Wurzel decided to leave the band. Officially, the split was amicable, but behind the scenes he was struggling with exhaustion and felt increasingly disconnected from the band's direction. According to fellow bandmate Mickey D, Wurzel had lost interest in touring, and his wife at the time had influenced him to dislike life on the road, and in the music business altogether. Mickey remembered how happy Wurzel once was in Motorhead, best friends with Lemmy, and thriving in the band, and said he was saddened to see him miserable after leaving. He later reflected that Wurzel deeply regretted stepping away, though he still joined the band on stage whenever they played in London. In his later years, Wurzel remained active in music. He played with various smaller projects and session groups, always staying connected to the guitar. One of his most important ventures was forming the group, Leader of Down, where he began working on new material that sadly would remain unfinished in his lifetime. Still, his love for music never wavered, and he continued to be respected among fellow musicians and fans. He also occasionally reunited with Motorhead on stage. Most notably, in 2008 he joined him for a surprise appearance at Download Festival, where fans were thrilled to see him back alongside Lemmy and the band, tearing through Ace of Spades in classic form. A year later, he played again with them at Guildfest in 2009, moments that proved the bond between Wurzel and his former bandmates had never been completely broken. Away from music, Wurzel lived a quieter personal life than many of his peers. He wasn't the most outspoken member of Motorhead, preferring to let his guitar do the talking. Friends and colleagues often described him as kind, unpretentious, and deeply passionate about his craft. His down-to-earth nature and sense of humor made him well-liked among fans who met him at gigs and festivals. Sadly, on the 9th of July 2011, Michael Burston passed away from ventricular fibrillation, triggered by cardiomyopathy, in Croydon, South London. He was 61 years old. At the time of his passing, he was survived by his partner, Jem. His passing came as a shock to the rock world. At the time, he had been working with leader of Down on new music, showing that even in his 60s, he was still eager to create and perform. His death left a hole not only in the Motorhead family, but also in the wider heavy metal community. And there you have it. Though Würzel is no longer with us, his time with Motorhead, and his fiery guitar style continue to inspire rock fans worldwide. His spirit will always live on through the music, loud and proud, just the way he would have wanted. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.